But there's gonna be no music or different music for the actual.
Yeah,
because of the copyright.
So because of copyright.
But my voice, my singing fair game?
Yeah, I think you can sing.
Yeah, you can sing. You can you can perform, you can do covers, you can do whatever you want to do, long as the actual master isn't audible. You don't have any copyright issues, and then YouTube will not demonetize you. So, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get that paper, baby.
Are we gonna have any music playing in the background?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I DJ every session.
No, but do you ever plan to do any of your own music?
Sometimes, yeah. Like
we need a Red Solo Talk original.
Okay, we do. We need a Red Solo Talk.
And I want to feature on it.
Is it gonna be like a jingle or like a song?
Yeah. It's gonna be like
something that's
Red Solo Talk. You do something. He does something already. I've been listening.
And then you can tweak it and add to it.
Right.
Red Solo
Talk.
Exactly.
Red Solo Talk.
I'm about to make the beat around
Red Solo Talk.
I said Red Solo Talk. I said Red Solo Talk. I said
But I want an original song playing with, a montage of us talking shit here. Not what we're saying, just a montage of us. Visual.
God isn't real.
Right. Oh, snap. Yeah.
Climate change is fake.
That's bruh.
Those are the sound effects in the song.
That's bruh. With the climate denying. All right.
Would you love me on the bus? I asked 21 questions.
We have to pour on camera, or can we already pour out?
What do you mean? This?
The drink, yeah.
I mean, I could prepare it, but we'll pour it out for the actual episode.
Yeah, pop that thing. Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
No, we have it ready to go, but it'll be...
But just like...
Because the ice keeps melting, so I got to drink the water before it gets poured in.
Hey, look at that. Just pour that ice back. Pour that ice back.
Oh, you already got ice in yours?
Yeah. Welcome to the pregame, y'all.
Yeah. Oh, we on. We on red. We live. But all right.
Yo.
Perfect timing. The song ended. Let's do you loosened up. You loosey goosey.
I'm getting there. I was setting up. I was doing what I normally do. We getting in there. We getting to it.
Where's your cup, JD?
Right here.
Oh, I like the name JD. That's actually dope. I got you.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry.
Oh, you already have ice in here.
Yeah.
We can top it off.
All right.
Pause. Yeah. Actually, is it no longer politically correct to say pause? Because to say pause would insinuate that whatever thing you're saying has a negative connotation.
Nah, we can still say it because there's a negative connotation.
But you can see that being getting banned at some point.
And everything can get banned at some point. Nothing's safe.
Yeah, they're gonna take.
I don't even try to decipher what can or can't be said. I'm just gonna
pause this out of here, man. They're gonna be like, yeah, you don't like gays.
Whoa,
I love gays.
I definitely support you. I got so many gay friends. Is that racist to say? I got black friends.
Racist?
No,
right? Because gay ain't a race. That's what we've been trying to tell them. So y'all gotta have your own argument. Oh shit, we getting too far. Let's reel it back in. Yo. What's up, everybody? This is Audio Jones. I'm with the best co-host in the game,
Manny El Fuerte, and today we have off camera, a little shy, we'll get there, but we have my older brother in studio, goes by JD. Introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm JD, and I'm El Fuerte's older brother.
Yet to D, special guest.
What brings you here?
I'm down here for work, really.
Okay.
I have work to do all this weekend, and I'm going into the office because I work remotely, so I'm actually going into the office to work on Monday.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a software developer.
Okay, and there's some things in the work that we're going to bring him back on to touch on. That's a little sneak peek.
Exactly.
And this is Red Solo Talk.
This is Red Solo Talk.
And it can't be called Red Solo Talk without having something in our Red Solo cups to drink. So each episode, we try a new liquor, beer, cocktail, spirit, you name it. We'll try it. We'll give our honest review. And this week, we have...
I never know how to pronounce this. Glenlivet. This is Glenlivet. If you ever get to see the other episodes, we've drank a lot of Glenlivet on this show. But this particular bottle, as I was shopping, I'm talking to my co-host, and I'm like, "Yo, what we doing this week?" He was like, "Surprise me," and I was like, "Don't say that no more. Don't say that no more." But I saw this particular bottle, and I said, "Well, we never tried that color." That's how I identify Glenlivet by colors. And I came across this one. It's a single malt Scotch whiskey, and it's an American oak selection. And I'm all about being patriotic. So once I saw the word American, I was like, yo, I'm in.
And I'm sure Audio Subconscious was motivated by the fact that we are also celebrating my birthday. And my current favorite whiskey is the Glenlivet 15 year. So I'm very interested in trying this new member of the Glenlivet family.
He ain't let me finish. I was just about to say that. I was like, yo,
take it away.
Man, it's your birthday coming up. You know, we about to do it big. You know, so yeah, today we're doing Glenlivet, and it's the American Oak selection, which I would assume will fall under American whiskey. So guys, like we always do.
No, I'm saying, does it give any description?
Oh, yeah. So
paragraph?
it's a single malt. I think it's first fill. It is first fill, which is something that if you get into whiskey, you want first fill.
What does that mean exactly?
That's literally the first, because they reuse the cask. They reuse the barrels. So you're actually getting like the first fill.
Is that better, or
I think it's subjective at some certain point, but you know,
or you're probably getting the most of the cask flavor.
got it? Okay, before it gets like
because then
watered down.
They
Exactly.
start blending it, and now they're gonna use this cask that had a bourbon but they're gonna put another type of whiskey in here. And this is when you start getting into like flavors and notes, and it gets very not complex, but you know, this is probably the most natural of the taste you're gonna get. So yeah, so all right, guys, we're gonna pour up. Let's do it.
So in 1824, I don't know, you're being shy, but you might as well. In 1824, George Smith established his distillery in the remote and wild valley of Glenlivet. Ever since, his smooth flowing whiskey has been regarded as the definitive single malt Scotch whiskey. That's what we're about to try.
And that's what
You want me to pull up?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the bottle opener.
Okay.
We're gonna pace ourselves. Last show,
Yeah, we got a little wild. So while I'm gonna pull up the drinks, and JD, guest in the house, he's gonna give us a little preview, a little sneak peek at what some of the topics tonight are gonna be. Go for it, JD.
problem. All right, so topics today, we're going to cover The Queen is Dead, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you see
very
that.
historical day.
Yes, it is. We got to talk about a Chinese parable. I'm not sure if we're talking about parables in general or a specific one, but Chinese parables it is.
There is a specific parable for sure. 100%.
You getting the bottle opener?
We're going to talk about women with tats. How do we feel about that? We're going to discuss requirements for marriage. This should be a spicy one. We're going to talk about chasing your dreams and chasing your money.
Hey.
We're going to discuss synthetic embryos. That's going to be an interesting one. Monthly income for man. Okay. We're going to talk about limits on how many kids. Pretty sure Nick Cannon and Elon Musk will come up
Probably
in this conversation.
part of the motivation for that topic.
Definitely.
And we're going to end it off with monogamy. And is it in our true nature or not? I don't know.
And fun fact, we cover out the whole spectrum. We have a single man, we got a girlfriend, and we got a husband and wife situation going on. So we cover the bases.
Can I say something? JD, you killed that, man.
Thank you, sir. I tried.
Delivered. That brought a certain element to the show. the way you rolled out those topics, I got to give it to you, man. I'm really impressed, man.
He knows how to read.
They said I have a good reading level.
There we go. All right, so cheers.
Cheers.
Pull up.
Eye contact.
Eye contact. All right, first sip to cleanse the palate.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Don't count.
Okay, so let's approach this. Let's unpack this. Because Glenlivet is probably, it's up there as one of our favorites for the show. And we have, let's say, a fair experience. We have enough experience with the various versions of it. Holla at me.
I don't know. That shit hit me hard. I feel drunk already.
It's pretty strong.
I don't know how it did that.
American whiskey.
I'm not a big fan of the aftertaste, but I am a big fan of the profile, the overall taste profile. But I'm not a big fan of the aftertaste. Compared to the other
What's
Glenlivet?
the proof on it?
It's probably going to be a standard proof, 80 proof, 40% alcohol, standard.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the aftertaste. So it does not take over Glenlivet 15 as my favorite, but it's still, I can tell it's a Glenlivet. I can still appreciate the quality.
So there you go. You know that. So based on that,
Even though
not your top 5 of the Glenlivet. Glenlivet.
No. I would say it's up there. It's in the top 5. Yeah.
Okay.
that's
I probably have only tried like 5 Glenlivets, but
That's what I'm like. I'm like,
it's definitely in the top 5.
It's like,
where would you rank it?
So Glenlivet 15. I would say the Caribbean one,
oh wow, I got up there.
and then I'll say this is probably number 3.
Okay.
And then for some reason 18, just I don't fuck with it. So 18 will be number 4 probably, and then the OG Glenlivet pretty number 5. And I think that's all the Glenlivets
The
I've
OG
tried so
one is
far.
what, 12?
Yeah, 12.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts on?
I'm not a big drinker or anything, but it's not bad. I could tell it was strong. I could tell it was quality.
Would you still prefer mixing it with Coke?
Probably, but that's just because I like the taste of Coke.
So you see, you should end up mixing it with Coke just to see what
I'm
you
not
think
gonna
about
do
it.
that. No, I already know.
Or in a separate cup. In a separate cup, you just put a little splash.
I might do that.
We scientists up in this bitch.
Yeah.
And your thoughts, Audio?
Mixologist. So I got to keep it real, guys. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. If I got to be real, not everyone's gonna be a winner. Sucks that I picked it. Fucking sucks. But it tastes like it's in the spirit of what Glenlivet usually does. You know, usually has like a higher profile feel or taste. But for me, when I'm thinking about American whiskey, I don't know if it did it for me, guys. I got to be honest, and only nigga to blame is myself.
Well, luckily I get to enjoy it because I still do appreciate it. Now we get my favorite part. We're gonna try to guess the price. So I would go first, but
You're not even
I'm gonna let JD go first. So we're gonna try to guess the price of the bottle.
Let me tell you.
All right. So first question I have is 25 considered top shelf?
Absolutely not.
No. 25 is not.
No, 25 is a very bad, very cheap whiskey. That's homeless whiskey.
All right, my bad. 18 then. Is 18 top shelf?
18 year?
Yeah, 18 year.
18 years top shelf, yes, and that's a 150, 200,
Okay.
100 to like $150, $200 bottle.
All right, so then I'm gonna think this is below that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna think this is middle.
So somewhere between 40 and 80.
I'm gonna go with that.
Where?
Let me go with 60.
60? Okay. And my guess was actually 65. That was my pre-determined. Where we at?
You guys got clear biases of Glenlivet.
Why? What's the cost? Give us
It's like $43.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Not far, but kind of far. It's almost like a $20 difference.
Yeah, but still mid tier. We got the
It's
tier
a mid.
correct.
Yeah, it was. I clearly got it off
the mid shelf.
The mid shelf. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But okay, that's not. Oh, considering the price, I would say.
Oh, if you want to, right?
You're getting a good value for $40 bottle.
And plus, I like bourbons too. Like, I'm really coming into like owning like what type of whiskey I like. You know, you guys that drink Scotch, and you got guys that do American whiskey, and then you got guys that do your bourbons. And out of all the whiskeys I've ever experienced, it's bourbon for me, man. I'm a bourbon man.
All right, so.
Well, on that, guys,
we'll do a cheers in honor of the Queen.
To the Queen.
Who, to date this episode, the Queen died either today or yesterday.
That was yesterday.
But
I thought it was today.
Was it today?
She died very close to this recording. So
right, yeah. It was either today and yesterday. They're on England time.
I was actually shocked. My phone was going off with people texting me that the Queen is dead, and everywhere on the news I'm seeing the Queen is dead, and I was just thinking, what are my thoughts on the Queen?
I know it was all over the news, but not a single person mentioned it to me.
Yeah, I guess people know I'm into current events. I guess I don't know,
right?
But I was very indifferent about it. What was your initial?
I'm not ready. I want to sort through my thoughts.
Okay, yourself.
I'm honestly not for the monarchy.
Yeah.
I don't see a point to it. They thought they were chosen by God to reign over people, and
that was probably more traditional than practical.
Yeah, for sure. It's a symbol more than anything.
Yeah,
and
right.
Eventually, the monarchy has to fall. It will fall.
I don't think she was bad at it necessarily. There's not a lot of drama and controversy you think of when you think of Queen Elizabeth. I think, all in all, considering her whole life being princess and queen, she did it as good as you could request of someone to do it. She lived to 96, good ass life. I don't really care. I do think it's an opportunity for your everyday layman to discuss and learn about the history of the British Empire and
That's where I think it has historical significance.
Yes, exactly.
So, which I will preface that I don't know that much about the monarchy historically. I'm aware of Britain's role in colonizing and enterprising the world, but however, when it comes to
they gave us a Magna Carta, they gave us capitalism, they gave us human rights, they gave us a lot of things that it wasn't perfect, but nothing's perfect. But there are things to appreciate from the British Empire.
100%.
Well, you're talking about the British Empire, but this is the monarchy specifically. So
but it all,
You're giving them the credit for it?
I'm saying the British Empire was a monarchy when
JD back.
when they gave us the society that founded America. We are the child of the British Empire.
That is true.
So I'm just saying there are things to appreciate.
We the runaway child.
The same way, because I don't want to be a hypocrite. The same way I'm supposed to grow up as an American and appreciate the American values that are, that make sense, while disregarding the horrors that we did to Native America and slavery and XYZ. I'm going to do the same thing with the British Empire. There's a lot of things that the world today is better because the British Empire existed and it wasn't another empire that conquered the world.
Because of your hindsight of the role, this is a little tangent. I thought this would be fun. Then maybe there's a piece of you that can sympathize with Antifa because of how America responded to their government.
No, because Antifa's not fighting for anything meaningful. They're fighting for anarchy. Antifa's fighting for
the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah, but they were fighting taxation without representation. There was something tangible that you could agree or disagree with. Antifa is literally just bring down the system to anarchy, and we're going to try to grow plants in a parking lot because we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're childish, mentally ill, degenerates of society, corrupted by Democrat mind viruses.
So it's safe to say.
I don't think Antifa is anything close.
Well, if I had to speak objectively, they're a group.
Yes,
within a government who lives within a country that has a government that they disagree with. We're on the same page so far. Okay. And their version of the Boston Tea Party was what's that shit they did in Seattle?
The Chaz. But that's my point exactly. You know, the Boston Tea, it's not about them doing something against the government. It's about what was their logic and reasoning behind revolting against the government. And when I look at the Boston Tea Party and the founding fathers, I can read their writings and learn their philosophies and agree or disagree with them.
So you need to read the manifesto.
When I do it with Antifa, what they're for and everything, I just disagree with what they're for. Yes, okay, technically they want to revolt against America, but their reasons are unfounded. They're mentally ill, degenerates.
So you give them no credit. You don't think anything behind what they stand for.
No, they are the extremist version of libertarianism. So I guess that aspect of it, but when you look into the founders of Antifa and the leadership in Antifa and what Antifa is actually made up of on an individual basis, they're all just mentally ill people. You know, America stopped caring for the mentally ill. I forgot what year. And we have a lot of homeless and mentally ill because of it. And Antifa is made up of
a lot of homeless.
Yeah. If you research the Antifa rioters that were arrested and let go, there's a record of them due to that. And you can go and look at all the mug shots and look at all the records.
And the vast majority were homeless.
The vast majority are, they're just the very bottom of society.
Maybe they were just the ones that got caught.
No, they were the Democrats' army. They were the Democrat army.
Oh, they're the ones we gonna throw out.
Yes, they were the front lines. Exactly.
No, okay.
Exactly. Because America's nice, so we don't actually use the same strength of tear gas and pepper spray that you would find if you went to South America and protested. They're dealing with the real deal. These Antifa people are dealing with America's version of anti-rioting, but we ain't really put the smack down. No, that's one of the criticisms against Trump during the summer riots, the 2020 summer riots, is he could have been a lot harsher. Even I was more pushing towards there was a name for, I think it's the Insurrection Act, to militarize. I think it's the Insurrection Act, but I was pushing for Trump to do it, and I think Trump held back more than he should for political reasons because of re-election. I think he should have been a lot more gung-ho against Antifa.
So how do you feel about the people who and I know this is
January 6th?
Yeah.
How do I feel about them?
How do you weigh them,
I think they were I'm a physicist. Everything has an equal and opposite reaction. I think the insurrection was that opposite reaction to the 2020 summer riots. I think
they felt they had
no choice. No, not right. But they had no choice.
The other side got to riot so much.
And then there are questions.
We believe in.
There are questions to be asked about the results of the thing that happens that leeds to people ending up in office. I'm trying to protect.
We don't want to get shadow.
Yeah, but there's things there's something that happens every 4 years where people decide certain things that end up governing the country.
This guy is on it,
and there are questions to be had about it that weren't honestly discussed and were shielded. And there's a lot of corruption that happened with regards to that situation. That there was a group of people that were radicalized by it and reacted the only way they know how. See, Antifa does black bloc tactics, and that's why they don't get arrested. But these were not innocent. I shouldn't say that. These were These were people that they didn't hide their faces. They didn't hide. That's why so many of them were able to be prosecuted.
I have a feeling some of them didn't even think they were doing the wrong thing.
And one of them, one of them was let go because they were let in by the cops and waved in by the cops. So the judge threw the case out saying, we can't prosecute this man when he was let in by law enforcement. So there's a lot of questions to be.
But to be fair, as somebody who has an interesting relationship with America based on my ancestral history, there's a certain pride I have for the country and disdain. But when I saw that, there was a moment of like, I can't believe it.
And there's another thing. At the end of the day, extremism is extremism. The difference is no leading Republican did not condemn the January 6th riots. No Republicans in power. No, there were no Republicans, mainstream thought leaders in the Republican Party, in the MAGA Party, in the America First Party, whatever you want to call it, on the right. There were no leading members of it.
Extreme ones.
They were all against what happened in January 6th. Antifa was going in, traveling into majority black neighborhoods, destroying their neighborhoods, destroying their businesses. And our vice president
There's black neighborhoods in Seattle.
Our vice president.
I think
no, I'm saying that was one, but that's one example. But what I'm saying is, in Kenosha and all these other places throughout the whole summer of 2020, they were destroying black neighborhoods, black-owned businesses, destroying them. And the Democrat leadership was saying that what they were doing was good, was advertising, fundraising money to get them out of jail so they can continue rioting. Our vice president, before she became vice president, tweeted out a whole thing to fund money, to raise money to bail them out. That's the difference also. Antifa was literally the Democrats' army. There were talks with Antifa leaders and Democrat leaders and city leaders to how they were going to react to Trump winning 2020, what they were going to destroy. There were all these conversations on how they were going to riot should Trump have won. So
we went on a bit of a tangent.
It was your fault.
It was my fault. So we going. When you get this guy talking about the other side.
I did not even want to touch this. You brought up Antifa. I was trying to talk about the British Empire,
right,
and how India is a better place for it, and America exists because of it, and we do owe it to our. We owe it to our society to be knowledgeable about the history, where we come from. We have to understand history. And
learn from history.
And the Queen dying, instead of focusing on, taking selfies with the king and I was at Buckingham Palace, we should think about, why they exist, who existed before them.
Really quickly, how do y'all feel about some of the reaction to the public? I was really taken because I'm seeing people really
happy that she died,
go in the way that I was just like, wow.
Again, it goes with how do you want to look at it? Do you want to focus on all the negative things about the monarchy and the British Empire and the colonialism, all the negative aspects of it and slavery and the racism? You can, if you want to focus on only that. Then it makes sense and it's understandable that they have those reactions to her dying. I think that's low IQ, and the higher IQ way to look at it is understanding the whole picture and judging the whole picture.
And not only that, but it's kind of sad when anyone dies, no?
I guess.
If Hitler died, I'm pretty sure we'd all be in here doing the pop.
As soon as I said it, I was thinking the same thing.
No, even Hitler.
Nah, dog.
Even Hitler is someone to be understood. No, because when you look at the Treaty of Versailles,
I'm trying to make sure we don't get canceled.
It's just the truth. When you look at the Treaty of Versailles, when you look at why Hitler became power, why did Hitler have the followers he had? There are things to learn and things not to repeat.
Oh, no.
Instead of acting like Hitler is this demonic creature that was a one-off.
He filled a vacuum and a failing economy in a country that
but
was
there
failing.
were reasons and things that the West did that can be argued led to Hitler's uprising. Like I said, the Treaty of Versailles and everything. But, Hitler was a bad guy, guys. He was a bad guy, but it's good to understand that he was still human. And there were human reasons why he became a bad guy and human reasons that could happen again. And if we choose not to understand and just assume he's this one-off diabolical creature from hell, is ignorant and is going to lead to a future Hitler to come again because we don't think it's possible.
So learn from the past is your point.
100%.
Just to make sure y'all get it, okay?
And speaking of the past, a long time ago, this Chinese parable was written.
Okay, all right. So let me bridge this in here because I'm not a biter. I'm a writer. So I'm a podcaster. Obviously, we have a podcast, but I'm a podcaster, meaning like
stick it in the oxo, baby.
you dig. I watch a lot of podcasts, probably more than TV. More than I listen to music, I watch podcasts. And recently I came by a recent episode that really it moved me in a way. And it just so happened that my co-host was like, I sent it to my co-host, like, yo, you gotta watch this. Shit was so great. And he was like, yo, I told you that same story. So
it's recorded somewhere.
So John Bernthal,
Punisher. Netflix's Punisher.
Yeah, or Shane from Walking Dead sits down with Shia LaBeouf.
Even Stevens. Transformers.
Transformers would have been a great one. But
I'm dating myself. I'm a 90s baby.
I'm telling you, I'm like, yo, an amazing podcast. Like, great. So but they go into a specific story or parable, Chinese parable, about a Chinese radish farmer. And I send it to my co-host, and my co-host is like, yo, you remember? And I thought it would be great because they have their audience and we have our audience, that we can touch bases on that same parable and kind of like unpack it and go into it. So you want to give them the synopsis of the whole thing?
Yeah, because JD, you never heard this story before?
No.
Yeah, so there's a Chinese farmer, and one day his horse runs away, and the neighbors come to visit and say, oh no, what a terrible thing that has happened. Your horse ran away. And the Chinese farmer says, maybe. Then, a week later, the horse comes back and brought with it 7 wild horses. And the neighbors come and say, look at this miracle. Not only did your one horse come back, but you have 7 more wild horses. You hit the lottery. The Chinese farmer's like, maybe. Then, a week later, his son is trying to tame one of these wild horses. And the wild horse throws him off the horse, breaks his leg. And the neighbors again come and say, oh no, what a travesty. Your son's leg is broken. And the Chinese farmer says, maybe. Then a week later, the conscription officers come because a war broke out, and they've come to collect the oldest sons from all the villages. And when they see his son with a broken leg, they let him stay. And they all run off and die in battle, and the Chinese farmer's son was spared. And all the neighbors say, look at this miracle, your son was saved. And the Chinese farmer says, maybe. And the reason that story resonated with me when I heard it a long time ago is because, I always tell people, the people that know me, they know that I consider myself a stoic. My philosophy that I say, my shortcut to knowing who I am as a person is, I say I'm a stoic with Aristotle virtues, which we'll save that for another podcast. But that parable to me is a good representation of my thought process when I maneuver through life. And stoicism is about peaks and valleys and staying level-headed and understanding when good things happen. Don't get too happy, too excited, because bad things will follow. And when bad things happen, don't get too sad and too in the slumps, because good things follow. And this parable more specifically, in my opinion, touches more on just not knowing the consequences of anything. Any moment in real time, any moment in real time you're reacting to in real time, but to give a label to it being a good thing or a bad thing is very short-sighted, and you're not considering the consequences you don't see that lay ahead from this moment in time.
Awesome. I think I would agree with you that I immediately went back to stoicism, and I was just like, be balanced in your responses, because like you said, life is our ups and downs. Now I would say that watching that podcast, I think Shia LaBeouf, I think his, now when as we unpack it, I'm like, I think he meant it like things happen for a reason. I think that was his interpretation.
I could see that. I could see that.
And I don't know, because I'm not in his head.
Yeah.
But I much rather, I really more resonated into like, things are going to happen. They may be for the good, they may be for the bad.
But they happen. And it's just all, it's a mushroom trip.
And JD, that was your first time hearing the parable? Was it? And after hearing it? Was it
that was the first time.
And what were your thoughts?
No, exactly that. That anything that happens in life, like in the moment, you might think it's a good thing or a bad thing, but you don't know the whole picture, and you won't know it until the end.
Because you're too close. You don't have enough hindsight. Yeah, 100%.
And that's the foundation for when people say, God has a plan. Everything happens for a reason. Every cloud has a silver lining. Blessing in disguise. You can attach that.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll stay in a positive place. Some people would. I've introduced the concept of nihilism.
Yeah.
People will, whatever. Let's unpack something else. All right. So I really like that story. That's something that's going to stay with me. I think I told you the one about the Sultan and the Prime Minister.
Not that I can recall. And JD's never heard it. So
what happens?
Let's go for it.
What happens for good.
Hold on, wait. I deserve a truth bomb.
Yeah, you do. Hey, come on, man. You're good with this.
All right, so let's see if you could get one with the Sultan.
All right.
The Sultan and the
hell yeah, the Sultan and his Prime Minister, right. Man, his most trusted advisor, his Jafar without the fuck shit.
And what happened?
So in this story, I felt like we talked about this before, but maybe it's on an episode that'll never happen. Since we're in parables, there was a sultan who had a prime minister or most trusted advisor. One day he's having counsel, and he's in his room with his most trusted advisor. And they're talking, and they're going back and forth, and they're having. This guy raised him, I'm talking about the most trusted advisor or the prime minister. And in the midst of this conversation, the Sultan requested that the prime minister hands him his sword. So in that process, unfortunately, the prime minister mishandled the sword, and the sword fell. Fell on the Sultan's toe, severing the toe. Severs the toe. The Sultan, obviously, if you're the king and the lord of all the lands, bitch, you just cut my toe off.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm angry. I'm mad. So in this process, the Sultan reacts in an obvious manner, upset, livid, and he then asks the prime minister, what do you have to say about this? Like, what come on, I need a reaction. I need to justify this somehow. It was a mistake, obviously. The prime minister responds, well, my lord, what happens for good. Kind of weird. I probably wouldn't have said that. I'm like, yo, I fucked up. My bad, please. Don't kill my family.
Happens for good.
So the Sultan reacts in this way. You know what? Because of what you've done for me and being my most trusted advisor, I'm going to do you a favor. I ain't going to kill you, but I'm going to go put you in the dungeons forever. because that fucking answer didn't do it for me. He didn't like it, obviously. So he sends him off. The prime minister goes to the dungeons where he's giving really low rations. He's starving. There's rats. This is probably one of the worst prison experiences you can think of, minus the rape. So months pass by. The prime minister is in this fucking hellhole, and the Sultan is now going on his annual hunting trip. He does this. He likes this. That's what he does. He goes out with his court. They're going out. They're hunting deer. Maybe white-tailed deer.
Bambi.
I hope not. Kill a buck, not the baby. But in the process, they find a deer. They're chasing it down. The Sultan's on it. He's so focused. He's dialed in. I'm going to get this game. I'm bringing it back because I'm the guy. In that process, he gets disconnected from his hunting party. So now we've broken off. I don't know. I'm chasing this deer. I don't know where my hunting party is. I'm deep in the forest. I'm starting looking around, and I'm like, I don't know where I'm at. None of this shit looks familiar. I took a wrong turn somewhere. In the process of realizing that, oh shit, I'm lost, he runs into a tribe.
Into a what?
A tribe in the forest.
A tribe. Okay.
A native tribe. This is where, hey, it hits him. I'm not in my lands no more. I'm not on my land no more.
I'm in foreign territory.
Foreign territory. So this tribe, he's lost. He has this interaction with the tribe. He's trying to communicate with the tribe, like, hey guys, I'm fucked up. I'm lost. They don't speak the native tongue. They then grab him and kidnap him, take him back to the village. He's scared. Obviously, I'm the Sultan. I'm the king. I'm the Lord of Lords on this, and where I reign. And they take him back to this village. When they get back to the village, they're doing all this ritualistic activity. He don't know what's going on, but he can't be good. Apparently, this particular tribe believes in human sacrifices.
Like all the good tribes do.
Like all the good ones, right? The Aztecs, Mayans, and Incas. So they're prepping him for this ritual practice where they're going to praise to the gods by human sacrifice. We found this human, this guy, lost guy, and we're gonna offer him to our gods. Their leader, spiritual leader, comes out and says, let's get him ready. Disrobe him. We're going to put the sacrificial clothes on. In the process of disrobing him, there was a discovery. He's missing a fucking toe. Oh, man, we can't sacrifice him. He's incomplete. They're going to be mad. So in that process, well, at that point, when they realized that he was incomplete because he was missing a toe, they let him go. They send him on his way. He gets back to his kingdom after traveling back to his kingdom and returning back. He's sitting on his throne and he's thinking, they let me go because of my missing toe. So then he calls his guards and he says, bring me my advisor. And the advisor comes in. He's dirty. He's malnourished. His hair's all matted. And he's talking he tells his advisor about his experience. Hey, this happened. And because of that situation, I didn't die. Tell me about your experience. Because I'm trying to make sense of it. The last thing you told me was what happens for good. So I'm trying to make sense of this thing you taught me. And he says, you were just in prison. What was good for you? Like, how make this make sense to me? And the advisor says, well, I always go with you on your hunting trips. And I got all my toes. If I was with you, I would have been.
Damn.
He would have been sacrificed. I'd have been sacrificed. Damn. What happens for good.
That's some M. Night Shyamalan shit. I did not know where that was going.
I didn't see that coming.
And after I heard that story, I was like, damn, that's
what happens for good.
What happens. I say it to this day. Like when I was like, what happens for good, man. It's gonna make sense later somehow. It's a little too magical for me because I'm so practical. I'm so like reaching for objective truths all the time. It just sounds so good that it was just like it's got to be real in some form of fashion.
What it makes me think of is the long termness of it also, where
too close. You can't see it.
People who think too much and they don't want to act because they're trying to gain as much information as possible. Mm-hmm. It's a reminder to those type of people that you can only gain so much information at any given time. There are things you cannot see. It is impossible to see everything and all, to be all knowing, to know how every decision is going to play out. There are consequences to your actions that are just unknowable.
Right.
And that's a good reminder of that reality.
Yeah, it played it played a role where there's certain things that will shape you in your life experience, and they when you perceive it in the beginning, it may sound bad, but it was the thing that shaped you into the person that you're going to become. It's almost necessary. It's par for the course. I would probably use that reference.
And me personally, I don't believe in regret because I cannot separate the me I am today. I cannot separate all the things that happened in my past. They all lead. I am the sum of exactly.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, any deviation from it is a different.
Exactly. It's a different equation.
Like, exactly. Yeah. There was a time where I thought to get tattoos. Oh. And there was and I didn't. And
well, yeah, so I did.
And I don't, there
and
are certain.
I fucked up twice.
Yeah, there are certain.
The third one I got right. The first two,
allegedly.
This fucking guy. So going into our next topic, some of y'all gonna get mad. So as y'all know, men date. And when we date, we tend to have preferences. And this was just kind of like a fun one. We were just checking out. We wasn't. How do I do this dance?
We don't.
So we were having some fun. Just, window shopping. And we came across some stuff and individuals who were tatted. It tends to be more popular now with women, where they get these, these sleeves or maybe.
So you're talking like
stamps.
Real tatted, not like a
like
little tattoo you can't see anywhere, but
like anything and everything in between. The whole spectrum of just women with tats in general.
Okay. So we wanted to kind of do a round the room of how we all feel about, like, could you date and marry? Well, do we want to unpack it like that? Date and marry, or just date?
Just what are your thoughts about women with tattoos?
If you're intentional, you're dating that woman to marry. That's if she meets your criteria, right? Okay.
So what are your thoughts, JD? Women with tattoos.
Personally, as long as the tattoos are
girl with the dragon tattoos.
Even that, like that tattoo is not a bad tattoo. Mm-hmm. It's in a place. It was on her back. Like, it's
attractive.
Like there's nothing wrong with girls with tattoos. There's a certain line I wouldn't cross though. Like when you start talking about like face tats and stuff. And like
hands.
You're dead, bitch. If
hands.
You have that.
It depends.
Neck.
It depends how it's done. If it's done in a
So you're pretty liberal with tattoos. So your current wife has any tattoos?
None at all.
So she unilaterally tomorrow she could just show up with a tattoo.
If she got a tattoo, I mean, I don't want to see her with a tattoo on her face or something.
But face is pretty much like the only no-go.
Like no 6ix9s.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah. But a little heart on her hand or a little star.
If there was a meaning behind it, or not even a meaning, but she's my wife. So should she autonomy to do that?
Should she?
This is gonna be an interesting conversation.
I was just I'm getting into my question. Should she just, if you're married, is that something that she should discuss with you before doing it?
I think she should.
Okay,
but if she did, it won't be a big deal.
Personally, like if she did what you said, like a little heart on her hand or whatever, I wouldn't really care.
Like you would pick your battle. Like
that's not a battle that I'm
not gonna die on this hill for that.
Not at all.
Okay, that's fair. That's right. You want to go?
I'll go. So recently, actually, I was with my boy. We were going to a football game, Miami Dolphins, and we were at a gas station, and this girl walked by with tattoos, but it was nicely done, and I won't go into details into the locker room talk, but for the point of this discussion, I found it interesting that we ended up in this conversation where I had this realization where I was telling him, I was like, I find girls with tattoos to be sexy when done right. Sexy. However, I don't respect them.
Oh,
as far as I would not want them to be my girl or my wife.
So what's the point of?
So there's a difference between.
They're fun to play with.
Yes, there's a difference between the girls that arouse you and you would be willing to
commit to
enjoy versus the girls you were willing to commit to and take seriously. 100%. And I would not take a girl with tattoos seriously.
She too much of a little fun thing.
Yeah, and my girl is not allowed to get tattoos.
Your girl got tattoos?
No, and she can't get them. So you see, so the day she came, if she came home,
this guy's on fire.
If she came home tomorrow,
she gonna watch this.
If she came home tomorrow, I hope not. She came home tomorrow with a little star on her shoulder.
How about a C?
A little C on her shoulder.
Right.
It would be over. It wouldn't even be a conversation. It would just be. It would be done.
Let's not get ridiculous.
All those
100%.
years down the toilet.
It would be done. You would throw your whole
100%. It would be done.
No conversation about it.
No conversation needed.
Wow.
No, you should know better. But no, for real.
This nigga's a maniac.
So can I fully logically explain my point of view? Not necessarily. I don't know how much of it is subconscious versus conscious, but I'm against tattoos being on my girl. Even if I can appreciate the sexiness or the attractiveness when done correctly on other girls, it's a different part of the brain that is activated.
Well, there was something you said earlier though, where you said you wouldn't marry her or anything, but you would, fun to play with.
Exactly.
So
fun thing.
Would you still stay with her with the expectation that you have no plans to take it further?
What do you mean?
As long as we're in agreement that this is what it is.
Yeah, like you said, you wouldn't want the one to commit to is to have tattoos, but could the fun to play with one have tattoos?
Yeah, that's my point.
All right, so then would you necessarily break it off?
Yes.
But you just said she could be fun to play with.
Yeah, fun to play with is not a relationship.
Oh, got it.
I'm more taken back that if she gets a fucking C, clearly for Caesar.
Yeah.
Because let me paint the picture. This is a hypothetical. These are never good. But
I love hypotheticals.
She gets this because I want to do something special. It's his birthday. I'm gonna get it right now. Matter of fact, not me. She's gonna do it, and she's gonna get a little C.
But you gambled incorrectly.
But are you? Where's the grace? Do you lend people grace for?
No. There are consequences to your actions, and you should have.
You are come on. You can't be that.
100%. But you see, okay, me. If we're gonna get to me personally, I am very good at communicating my boundaries. So it's not like my girl doesn't know that she can't alter her body in any way without my permission.
There's no guarantee.
No cosmetic surgery, no tattoos, how you dress.
Without
I have a say.
Permission.
Yeah.
That feels like we're back in the 1800s or something.
And they got us to where we are today. So how are you gonna knock it?
Yeah, but things have changed.
In a good way? You're saying everything that's changed is always positive?
No.
So
it's
then,
not always positive.
so then, just because things have changed isn't an argument. What about what I'm saying is wrong?
All right, question then. Would you accept her imposing rules like that on you?
What kind of rules?
Same exact thing. Same exact thing. You cannot get any tattoos. You cannot get any piercing. You cannot get any cosmetic surgery.
I would listen to the argument. Yes.
How if
You would get an audience.
How about if her argument was solely that is what you expect of me, I expect the same of you. How about if that's her argument?
Oh, that's a good one. What if she reversed it? She's like, all right, well, you can't get no tattoos.
Just because I said you can't, you know what I'm saying? If it's
For equality,
then no, I call bullshit. It has to mean something else.
All right,
But
so what's your reason why you won't accept it?
Right, because based on
it
that
has to be on
standard,
that.
Yes.
you would have to do the same.
so the only
maybe not.
fine. So fine.
Or maybe not.
So you see, I'm speaking very black and white. So I'll give you guys some gray area, and that is if there is some cultural reason, some historical ancestry, traditional reason, you're Polynesian or something. If there's some tribal reason where the tattoo has some cultural, then I could see myself giving grace and gray area. But other than that, no, there's no reason why
a woman
should be getting a tattoo. It's not I don't see anything feminine about it. I don't see any positive reason to get it. I don't.
It's artistic expression.
I don't see why you're putting things on your body to call attention to it from other people.
How about if it's in a private place where it's just for you and her to see?
Ooh.
I mean,
a little C right here.
Okay.
On the pelvic bones.
I would want. I would.
You want to be in on the decision.
No, I am going to be in on the decision. Yeah, that's the whole point.
So she couldn't do it without you knowing.
100%. No,
it's in a place. Where
that ain't happening. No, I still got to look at it. No, it has to. No.
How about if, even though she didn't get your permission, you end up liking it? Is it okay?
And she did it for you.
Out of principle, no.
So she come in and she hit you with that little.
No, because no.
You're gonna be like, get out of here.
Because where were you that was done? Where were you exposing yourself without my permission?
Well, you know it was a tattoo. Like where people get tattoos at, nigga.
Exactly. But no, there's a lot of.
She was hanging out with girlfriends.
No.
She was hanging out with girlfriends and she got dared.
Okay.
Yeah, well.
You played
Good.
wrong.
You can't hang out with those girls either.
The bitches are gone. They're banished. They ain't coming over for Thanksgiving. Okay.
But what I find interesting is I could still see myself being attracted to a girl with tattoos
And fooling around with.
Yeah, but I would never take them serious.
Take them serious. Okay.
So would you? I don't know if this is a thing. Can you downgrade a relationship?
What do you mean?
Sure.
Like down, pretty much.
Yeah, it's called breaking up.
Breaking up, but still messing around with her.
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends. So there's
exclusively.
No, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
When you added that part, I was trying to be like, yeah, you can if you guys are just mature adults, but then when you added that element, then it's like, nah, yeah, y'all in a relationship, y'all having a business agreement.
Yeah, I guess.
So, that's interesting.
What are your thoughts on women with tattoos? Especially since you have them. I don't have any tattoos.
Me neither.
All right, so I've gotten tattoos. 2 that I'm gonna do cover ups, and
there's gonna be ladies that want to slide in your DM, so you can lay down the law.
Yeah. So check this out. I don't favor women with tattoos, like large tattoos. Let me get specific. Like if you got a little here, a little there, a little something on your butt cheek or something. But I don't want to see like a whole design running down your whole leg. Like, yeah, I got to see that shit at 50. You know what I'm saying? And
she gotta have a full sleeve.
Yeah, the full sleeve.
How about if it looks like nice?
Because I'm gonna be laying up next to you at, like 60, 64. And I'll be like, why did you do this?
But she's gonna be lying next to you with the same tattoos, saying, "Why did you do this?"
Yeah, but I'm probably gonna look really cool. I'm gonna be like distinguished.
So you're distinguished, but she trash.
So deal breaker?
Okay, sleeves are a deal breaker.
She's the perfect, she's everything you want, but she has a sleeve. Deal breaker?
Like emotionally and mentally?
It's everything you want. This is who she meets all requirements for marriage.
He's good. He's good.
As our next topic.
He's good.
And she meets all those requirements.
Could I put that past? So aesthetically, because for me it's more aesthetic. It's not that. It's not so emotional in the space of like, you're not forward thinking or nothing like that. It's just simply like Cardi B. I think she's a very attractive woman. However, when I see the whole side of her body, like that whole long tat on her butt, in her thigh, and her leg, it don't do it for me. So for me, it's just a preference.
Be able to get past her talking.
All right. So I'm not a big fan of. I'm just not a fan of like super tatted women. Like you have a tat here and there, but like when you go overboard, like I would agree with Caesar that I can't take you serious because it's like you have to be so sure that whatever you were gonna do in life was gonna work. I guess I do borrow from that train of thought. Like you're thinking like, oh, I could just get a sleeve, and I'm like, all right, well, I hope you find somebody that's very successful. Yeah. So
and plastic surgery is the same to me.
Yeah, I don't like BBLs. I don't like augmented breasts. I don't like big lips. Not big lips. I like natural big lips. But with the women that are walking around here looking like with these big, they're
angry at you, but they look like they're smiling because their face is frozen.
Botox women's like I'm really into like natural women. Like I tiger stripes are like Kendrick says. I like to see a little tiger stripe on. You got stretch marks on the little side right there. That do it for me.
I got. You ain't got to cover that.
do you feel differently about plastic surgery compared to tattoos, JD? Or is it the same kind of thinking? Where
because
it's
there's
individual.
There's a bigger financial aspect to that one. That one.
The technology is such that the finances are the same.
I guess in either case, we'd have to talk about it beforehand, depending on the finances.
No, the finances are the same. When you said that she could come home with a tattoo without you knowing, so can she come home with a new nose?
She's changing a part of herself.
So it's tattoos, though.
No, that's adding.
Okay, that's where you make a distinction.
Yeah, that we would have to discuss ahead of time. We'd have to see, whether it's worth it, whether let's say, for example, this is gonna be someone close to us had, a lifelong fixation with her ears. And, she really always felt, self-conscious about it. Mm-hmm. So she made the change to do something about it. For a reason like that, I would think it's okay. I could understand, this is something that you've lived with your whole life that you want to change. Yeah, you can get we'll make it happen.
But you want to be involved in that discussion.
Oh yeah,
so I've seen nose jobs that I'm like, oh, makes sense. I would do it too. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've seen certain cosmetic surgery where it makes sense, especially after an accident or something. Though, obviously.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, and you giving it context now, but I just want to augment certain parts of my body. That's like a big deal breaker for me.
But there was this whole thing that went viral about if your girl does OnlyFans, if a girl does OnlyFans, should the man get the money? And that
get the money or get a percentage.
Be involved in that decision of where the money goes and where that and what is done with that income.
Well, if we're in a marriage and we're a team,
yeah,
I think See all that, but now I'm opening up a can of worms.
But that whole
No, but I think
discussion
that
is
has
what
to be-
led to me saying.
OnlyFans, that's her job at that point.
Yeah,
it's not a
like,
hobby.
you're
If
right.
you're making money off of that, that's
Yeah.
your job.
Anytime you
So
make
then
income,
that gets factored into the
that's a
household finances.
marital
Yeah.
decision.
That gets factored in, yeah.
But if she a little thotty that you slime with and you get up in there,
Oh,
you
no,
like,
then you can't say shit.
You got to keep me back a little something.
No,
Because I
then
know
you're a pimp.
I know some.
You're a pimp at that point.
Well, that's one way to look at it.
That's one way to look at
Oh,
marriage.
you want to be her? That's
That's one way to look at it, you know?
Yeah, you're responsible for that girl.
And that might be your business model.
But what I mean to say by is everyone was freaking out about, oh, that's not fair. She's not property. But it's what led me down the rabbit hole of,
Well, hold on.
no, she is your property to a certain extent. Or there is no, she just have, because
He's
you,
gonna say these words.
because,
I'm curious.
well, I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of relationship you have too, you know?
Right.
So if I'm responsible for certain things, you know, when the cliche glass breaks, intruder in the house, who goes to investigate? Who goes to defend the family?
You're the protector.
You're the protector.
It's 50-50.
right? So
We go together.
if you're the protector and you have to lay your life
Unless
down,
you're bigger than you, then you know.
so yes, if you're out in a club and shit goes down, who's responsible for the person's life? Who's responsible for that body?
I'm the man.
You're responsible for her physical being.
Yeah,
I would feel
I'm the
responsible for my
protector.
wife.
So
I'm the provider.
if you're responsible for that physical being, you have to have some say over what happens to that physical being. Otherwise, it doesn't match.
But
There's no
it's
reciprocation.
It's not
Yes.
that you're responsible for her physical being because
you know the pilot.
You're responsible because
when the pilot gets on the
that's your partner.
yes.
That's why. It's not that you're responsible. It's that it's the logical result is that you're going to protect her because
You're stronger.
you're stronger. So
Okay.
it's not really a responsibility. It's just
Okay, so
That's your partner,
if
you're
she
gonna
wants,
protect her.
if she wants, she can put herself in danger.
no, she shouldn't.
But she can if she wants to, because there's no say. You have no say. She's her own person.
Well,
she can
if
put
you-
herself in danger. You're responsible for protecting her, but she is free to do whatever she wants.
No.
to put herself in
No,
danger. So,
in the-
okay,
in the-
so you have. So there
In
is some.
the animal kingdom, if we're gonna bring it down to a primal level, there's always gonna be outside lions or outside,
Yes.
I was gonna say hyenas, but lions that are trying to slip up off in your situation. It's inherent that you be the leader, the stronger provider, whatever. That she's, you protect your little situation. But I think when you start adding those elements, you get a little bit into the weeds of it, and it's just kind of, it's just, to me, it's more of a respect thing.
Yes. Out
So-
of respect
Yeah.
for you having to risk your life and be the one that you get some thing in return. Commutative property. I think that's it in math. If A equals B, therefore B equals A. I think it's commutative.
Okay.
I think so. It's one of those. But if A equals B, therefore B equals A. You agree?
Or is that identity? No, that's not that.
Whatever. If A equals B, therefore B equals A.
Correct.
You agree?
Yes.
So when Uncle Ben says, with
I
great
told you, I
power
got
comes
that.
great responsibility,
Nah, I get that.
right?
Okay.
You're saying that
By
with
that-
great
but there-
responsibility
literally-
comes great power?
It has to work that way. If you have great responsibility, you need to have great power. So
Wait,
that's
no,
my point.
If you have with great power comes great responsibility.
So therefore, if you have great
But that's
responsibility, you need to have great power.
That's not A equals B, B equals A. That's if A then B, and then you're saying if B then A, but that's not always true.
Y'all boys done took this shit. Another level.
Okay, but I mean that's like if A then B, but I'm not saying if A then B.
These niggas
If you
with
have
these
great
letters.
power,
I'm saying with
then
great
you
power.
have great
No, I'm saying with great power comes great responsibility.
So
I'm saying
if
equal.
you-
So I'm saying
saying-
great power equals great responsibility.
But you're making them equal, but no one said they were equal. The
Well, but I'm
statement,
right.
but the statement, the quote is
responsibility.
great power
with great power comes great responsibility.
That's if A,
But-
then B.
And I'm saying is because because they're
A equals
connected.
B, but
I'm-
that's
yes.
not the statement. The statement is if A.
Okay, so then
B.
why?
Oh man, this
what?
nigga added
Why?
all the letters.
So why is it then that with great power comes great responsibility?
Well,
Because it's easy to just alter the analogy to if then and say that then it doesn't work the other way. But I'm saying that there are reasons why great power comes great responsibility.
well, for sure, but
There are reasons why they are attached.
then you would have
Because you're finding a different analogy and then attacking the analogy, saying that the analogy doesn't work. Okay, but then argue your analogy. Why is it that great power? Why is it that great responsibility follows great power? I'm saying they are attached. You're saying no. Why is it that they're not attached, but then one follows the other?
Because if they're attached, what you're saying is that with great responsibility, you can't have that. You need great power. You're saying someone with little power can't have great responsibility.
How does that work, though? So how can you be responsible for something that you have no control over?
It happens all the time.
But how does that make sense? How is that the right way
world
to
doesn't make sense.
No, but how? But okay, but so how is it the right? Because there's no. We're all discussing different opinions.
It's subjective at that point.
Exactly, it's all subjective. How everyone is in their relationship is subjective. I'm arguing my reasoning why I think that if great power comes great responsibility, then great responsibility comes
Because
great power.
There's a lot of people who had great.
Who's judging what's the great responsibility?
I am.
Right.
I am. So if I have to lead in my relationship and I have to risk my life if shit hits the fan, and then I need to have certain control and power over the decisions of the person I'm responsible for.
Okay. I mean, but her getting a tattoo, you think that creates greater danger?
Wait, I thought you were just acknowledging to.
Oh no, I was just checking work stuff.
Okay. No, sorry, repeat that.
So based on your how you view it,
Yeah.
is it fair to assume that by her getting these provocative
Exactly,
tattoos
yes,
may enhance the opportunity of danger where you would have to interact?
Maybe I don't
Yeah, I
know,
don't think
but
there's a correlation
well,
there.
it can be, but yes. So yes, if my
In the
girl
case of
decides
a private tattoo that no one can see, then how can
the
that
thing
change?
is, the thing is, I pull everything. I pull everything. So it's all the same mindset. So the same way you can't just go get your breasts done. You can't sit there and get a tattoo. You can't do things that call attention to yourself.
We're forgetting one important element. You're not saying no. You're just saying talk to me first.
I decide.
You
Okay.
can't compromise.
It's up to me, though. What I'm saying is, it's up to me, and I will walk away if I don't agree. And it's your decision to do it or not. So if you sit there and you feel that this shoulder tattoo is worth not having me
He's gonna
as
go all the way.
Yes, 'cause everyone is free. So of course, if you come to me and say, listen, I really want this tramp stamp.
Pete Davidson over here.
Yeah, I really want this tramp stamp that says "aim here."
This is the new Andrew Tate. This nigga, we had a conversation and we were talking about it, and I said, this nigga came in here. He's like, "Yo, I'm about to do it all the way, baby."
About what?
Oh, the man spirit shit.
Oh, I'm just saying. I recognize that compared to a lot of people.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if my girl decided she really wants a tramp stamp with an arrow pointing down saying "aim here" for whatever reason, I'm gonna say no. But if it means that much to you that you need to get it, you're a free person. I'm not gonna kidnap you and tie you down and say you can't do it. But you don't get me in your life.
Okay, but
So that's what
a C in a private spot.
You don't get me in your life if you alter your body without my permission.
So
She
in
asked you for a
short,
C in a
And I'm going to say no.
in short.
there's no compromise.
I don't think it's necessary.
So basically, what we saying, in short, bitch, raise your hand and ask a question. Or ask permission.
Fine.
It's ask permission. Man. It's not asking questions.
It's actually, because that nigga is not, he's not.
So you're saying, segueing into our next topic, that's a requirement for marriage.
Right.
Well, okay. You want my opinion?
Obedience.
Do you want me to go first for requirements for marriage?
Is this like coming to America? That level of obedience?
No. So
because we're at 113 right now. To keep it your top 3 or 5. What's a good one?
Requirements for marriage?
Top, like long as I got these 3 or 5, I can work with anything else.
Well, what I was going to say was my requirements for marriage are the same as my requirements to be my girlfriend.
Okay.
I don't see them different. I see marriage as just the government getting involved in your relationship. But I don't differentiate.
It's not just that. You're taking it to another level because now it's not just simply breaking up. You don't break up. No,
that's fair.
You added a level of complexity into there.
Because of what? Because of the government.
Yeah, it's because of the government.
So that's my point. The only difference between a relationship and marriage is that the government is now acknowledging and involved with your relationship.
Yeah.
But nothing else changes. So for me, I don't maneuver differently with, oh, you're good enough to be a girlfriend, but you're not good enough to be a wife. There's no difference to me because the only difference that makes a girlfriend a wife is that the government gets involved.
Okay, so let's say
but it makes it harder to back out.
Because of what?
I understand it's because of the government, but it still makes it harder to back out. So, you might have looser requirements for a girlfriend because you can easily just say, bye.
Yeah, because we're arguing semantics, what everyone considers a girlfriend. I'm saying, me personally, I don't see a difference between a girlfriend and a wife.
I feel like
I don't act different. There's no...
I'm going to be a husband... Maybe not to the standard of what society considered of. Like I've said this to women. Like I'm acting as a husband.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm in a relationship for 6 years now. We get married tomorrow.
That's good, nigga. That's good, nigga.
We get married tomorrow.
All right.
I'm not gonna
all of a sudden level up to another standard. Right?
I'm not gonna act differently. I'm not going to. Like, now what changes? No, other than the government now acknowledging. That's my point.
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's exactly what changed. Is that you just you made a commitment at that point
to the government.
Well, you make a commitment to that person.
That the government is going to...
Well, that you're not just going to walk away. You can't just walk away.
Because the government is going to... But that's my point.
No, but there's I get what he's saying.
I can still be a man of honor.
In a business deal, because in business...
man of honor.
No. Yeah, there are still... Frankie Valli and the whatever the fuck, the musicians, their deal is handshake.
In business, I'll tell you right now, there ain't no deals to be done on handshakes. So just being in business, because I look at relationships like that.
Truth bomb.
We have a business deal. We both agree that this is what that's why if you want to do it the right way, y'all go get an LLC and make it a corporation and turn it into a business. Y'all relationship, when we leave this, you get this and I get this. Maybe you don't do it to the degree where you got to go and get a marriage license. That's preference. I'm just saying, this is a business deal. And you saying what you're going to do on that paper and me agreeing to it, we're held to a standard. When there's a handshake, you could wake up tomorrow and be like, I don't want to be the nigga I was yesterday. That's a reality.
Well, that's not true, because you see, you can wrong me with red solo talk and there's no government protection, but then I can kill you. What I'm saying is you still have to face consequences.
Is this nigga projecting?
No, I'm just saying. What I'm saying is while I don't have government avenues of reconciliation, but if I feel wronged, you can still face consequences to wronging me.
7 years common law marriage exists in certain states, but but
there's certain things you need to have, like bills in both names. Yeah. And it depends. But it gets complicated.
I agree with JD to a degree that, because I do believe that when you get married, it's a business deal. I don't agree with having the government in that involved. But
I agree with everything JD is saying as well. But that is my point. What JD is saying is when you get the government involved, so you're essentially signing that contract like two businessmen saying, separate from our word as human beings, separate from our individuality. We are going to involve this person to give both of us reassurances that now our relationship means XYZ. Fine. But the question is, are requirements for marriage from the individual female? And what I'm saying is that doesn't change. So regardless of that government aspect, my requirements for someone to be my girlfriend is the same to be my wife.
Let me reframe the question. What needs to be in the contract for you to sign that contract with that person is what I'm saying. The top 3 or top 5 things.
What would need to be in the
contract?
What would be like?
What are literally the requirements? No, not for a prenup. What are the requirements to meet marriage for you?
For you to say I'm gonna go into this.
I don't know. I mean,
contract.
I don't know. I guess it would just have to. It would have to make sense. There would have to be something in real life that getting married and having the government involved helps my life in some way. Nothing in my relationship is going to make me.
Not even in the government. Not even you. Not even in the government. Not referencing the government. For you to even get to a place of confidence that I'm going to behave and operate as a husband to you, because you're not going to do that with a jump off.
No.
So that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
What are the requirements for you to say?
Oh, okay, exactly. So for me, what are the requirements for?
Damn, I should have said that in the beginning.
Yeah. So what are the requirements for marriage? And getting past the fact that they're the same for me as my girlfriend. What are the requirements to be my girlfriend?
Correct.
Okay,
for you, it's the same thing.
Exactly.
What is it called? Semantics?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Exactly. Yes. You want me to go first, or?
Nigga, go ahead, man. We gotta get the J.
All right. So obviously I'm very dominant in my.
You better be obedient.
So no, not obedient, but you do have to be submissive. You have to be naturally wanting me to lead. You want to naturally.
You believe in gender roles.
Yes, you have to naturally.
We gonna say gender roles.
Yeah. Yeah, the traditional gender roles. Yeah. So you have to naturally want to follow my lead in what I want out of life.
They have to appreciate the
my vision for life. Yes,
right,
and also trust. So I need to be able to trust you with my kids, trust you with my dogs. If you know, I'm a dog lover. If you know me,
and by mine you mean our.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, trust. I can be able to trust you. Trust and submissiveness is pretty much I can't really think of an easier way to say it.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I mean, it's broad enough that I'm pretty sure you would capture any nuances.
Yeah.
But it's broad enough that it does leave me with some degree of concern where it was like, but based on my experiences that I had, I'd be like, specifically.
But yes, if I just had because if I just needed to think of requirements, everything else is just in experiencing life, experiencing the relationship, playing the game of being in a relationship. But the requirements, you got to come in submissive and I can trust you, and you're submissive, and then everything else will fall into place and maneuver through, and we figure it out.
Gotcha. Okay. JD, you want to go ahead and give it a go? I mean, you're married, so you have more experience in this space where you had a certain standard of criteria.
And you had decisions to make, and requirements were met.
Yeah, requirements.
I will preface this. We're a family-based company.
Requirements that were met for it to become marriage now. I would have to say loyalty.
Okay. That's a good one.
Wait to the end.
Yeah, loyalty for sure. Sense of humor.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not, because
you didn't even bring that.
I have that's sometimes messed up sense of humor. If you cannot
dark humor, would you say like Larry?
It falls under submissiveness.
Oh, I love. We can
get into that.
Oh, not Larry King. Larry.
Larry David. Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, she don't have to like the same kind of humor, but we have to like. If I say dark joke,
she needs to laugh at your jokes no matter what.
No, it's not like that.
Oh.
what happens in reality is that sometimes I'll say something that I think is fucked up, and I'm doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
And she'll one up me and surprise me, where I'm left like,
now you fucked up. He's like, well, damn. All right, let me come back.
yeah. So that right there.
No stick up butt.
Yeah.
No stick in the mud.
Oh yeah, you can't be
no stick in the mud. Don't be a fucking boring stick in the mud, bitch. We're having some fun.
Willing to be a true partner in the partnership.
Okay. So loyalty, humor, and
Good partner.
team player.
Team player. Okay.
Because you say partner, we gotta give it some context. Like
team player.
This week, you might have to do a little.
Like,
you might
I know
have to do a
you
little
are you,
more.
and I know I am me, but we are a team, and we are working towards common goals.
Specifically, this week I gotta work a little bit more, so I'm not gonna be that involved in the house chores this week. But I'm working on this important project. I got you, big. Teamwork. Gotcha.
Extreme work.
I like it. I like both. I like both of you guys.
And I was gonna say, sense of humor falls into submissiveness because with submissiveness comes being impressionable. So
you don't get to go back and change.
No, I'm just saying that part of being submissive is that you're going to naturally absorb. You're gonna naturally kind of fall into the same sense of humor.
Okay. So
okay.
We had that conversation. Audio and I have,
she has to have the same sense of humor as you.
Or it's going to happen naturally through the submissiveness of following that person's lead as to what they find funny. It's just going to subconsciously kind of influence what you find funny. We were having that conversation the other day about how when you find truly submissive women, it's important that they didn't have a bunch of relationships beforehand because
they're too scorned.
Because not only scorned, but just even if it wasn't necessarily bad relationships, you're going to if someone's naturally submissive and naturally impressionable and they've had 6 boyfriends in the past, 6 real serious relationships, they've taken and became partly
their Play-Doh that has been molded and remolded
and taking in all these different facets of those past relationships.
When you take the dough out of the Play-Doh thing and it's been left out a little bit, it's been abused a little bit.
Yeah, right now it's crusty and they're still trying to play with it.
It's hard to mold. And
it has all these indentations from those past boyfriends.
Yeah. Give me a bomb, nigga. Play-Doh.
If I die tomorrow in a freak accident.
I never had to request my own bomb.
If I die tomorrow in a freak accident and my girl goes dating, whatever guy she goes on a date with is going to be interacting with me to a certain extent. It's gonna be interacting with some of my interests, with my sense of humor, with things that
she has absorbed
from me being a submissive, impressionable girlfriend.
Okay.
That's my point.
Well, we at 1:30.
So are we jumping to the next?
Actually, we gotta close out.
Though. You haven't gone with your requirements, have you?
It's pretty simple. Going forward in my life, for me to marry you, you're gonna see all my information here for you to submit your application. I'm playing. Going forward in my life, where I stand today, I was a little more practical with mine. Which is like, no kids. Body count is important to me. Between 25 and 30.
I think he's talking age now.
Oh, I thought you meant body count. I'm like, whoa.
Hey, so between a certain age, I would date between 35 and 40.
Well, this is not date. This is requirements for marriage.
Yeah, so these are like more like prerequisites before we can even get to marriage.
Wait, what's the body count?
Single digits?
Yeah.
For sure.
Double digits out of the question.
100%.
7 is my 7 to 10. That's even then I'm still kind of like, that's a lot. Too many
for me.
How about wait, because
I need a blank canvas.
No, hold on.
I need a blank canvas.
Hold on here. age, you're saying 25 to, I think you were going to 40 something.
So
40.
some of them.
So let's say if it's the 40,
they
older than you.
No chance.
if it's 40 and she has a body count, she might have a higher body count
For
because
sure.
she's
That's
lived
fair.
long.
Our relationship ain't gonna work.
Which is fair. Which is
Still work.
Ooh.
yeah, you're probably not gonna make it. No kids.
Maybe
Sugar
if she
mama.
lets you,
Stick it in the oxo, baby.
I can make an exception.
So, not only that, emotional intelligence. It's number one, probably. Emotional intelligence is number one for me. Yeah. Matter of fact, emotional intelligence, that rules the board.
And a fat ass.
That's number two. He said it. He said it. He said it, buddy. Hey, so I really hope you enjoyed.
So no synthetic embryo, no.
We just after hours. We had a slew of topics. We got through as much as we could, and we appreciate you guys. You know, y'all go ahead and join Red Solo Nation if you like what you heard today. Again, this is we're a podcast, but really this is just homeboys recording our whole conversation. We was gonna say this shit even if y'all wasn't watching. So, but if you like what you heard, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. I think that's the right combination.
Yes.
Hit that
And
notification bell. Hit the notification bell.
And check us out on our OnlyFans. You'll see some nipples.
That's right.
And you'll get uncensored
I'm not-
takes and theories about life that that are not YouTube friendly.
His nipples are pretty cool.
Are you guys really
So you want to see it?
Yeah, that's where you get our after hours edition, where we get more turned up.
Wondering where
we get more drunk.
It's on OnlyFans.
Yes, we get more drunk, we get more wild, we get more loose. We're not fearful of the
That's
YouTube
why-
elites
Please share the link.
censoring us. You'll find the link down in the description below.
Thank you.
That's why our shows are at the time and that is time, and because after this we gonna go turn up.
We're gonna come back
And
we're gonna touch on
and
synthetic
turn up.
embryos, for example, because you know it's crazy. I really want to touch on synthetic embryos on this side and then segue that into OnlyFans, because I have a theory about why the Cambridge University is working on synthetic embryos. But we won't touch on that now. But you'll just find the whole. That's how we'll start off our OnlyFans episode for Red Solo Talk After Hours. After hours.
Yeah, but there's other topics before synthetic.
Yeah, but after hours.
So until next time, y'all guys, what's that shit you be telling me? Keep your booty hole tight.
Yeah, keep your booty hole tight.
R.I.P. G-Mom.
Yo, this is Audio Jones. This is
Manny El Fuerte.
and our special guest,
JD.
who's gonna be returning because I loved it. I fucking loved it. And this was Red Solo Talk. Join Red Solo Nation. Y'all know what it is.
And you know where to find us. We're going after hours next, so
Bye.
bye.